Hi everybody, it's FC Liverpool. It's the Liverpool show that just talks about everything. It's all the Liverpool fans. It's about the club. It's about the owners. It's about everything. It's about how the season's going on. This is what we're talking about anyway tonight. It's can we get four? I have a guest on it, which is Tommy Batty. He's coming on. I hope to have Ian Golder, another big Des, and a bit, Ian's working, unfortunately. He's a care worker, and he said, I'll try and make it for the last hour. So I said, okay, it'll be great if you try and make it to get on. Because there's a lot to talk about, We have to talk about from the Real Madrid game to the poor performance of last Saturday to tomorrow's game against Wolves. I think it's about the 49th time that we're playing them. It seems that way anyway. But anyway, we talk about that tomorrow. And also, we'll be talking about the coming game at the weekend with the new Caribou Cup holders, Man United. These are the same people who called it the Mickey Mouse Cup a year ago when we won it. Strange, isn't it? How a year changes, philosophy, that is. So anyway, I'm going to bring in Tommy right away to discuss all these things.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, Tom, you're okay?
All right, mate. Yeah, Sam, mate.
Do you know what? It's did you watch the game on Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. You watched the game on Tuesday, didn't you? Last Tuesday, a week tonight, when we went 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Now, don't forget what we did previous two games. We won 2-0. And no matter what you think about Everton, it was a derby game. And to beat them 2-0, they just came off the back of a win against Arsenal, didn't they? They just came off the back of a win. So they were buoyant, new manager, knew everything. So they were buoyant. And yet we goes there, bang, 2-0, plays them 2-0. Brilliant. It was a very good result because anything, as you know, Tommy, can happen in a derby game. So what was your take on the 2-0 against them?
I thought we were up for it that night. Liverpool were at it. I haven't seen a play like that all season. And they were up for it against the Blues. Because the Blues is always a tough game. It doesn't matter where they are.
Yeah.
They're always a tough game, the Blues.
Well, it's because... why it's a tough game, Tom, is because they're at it as well. They're up for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And especially coming off a very good win against Arsenal, by the way. They were fantastic, but they grinded out that win. They grinded it out. And then we had to play them. And the way we were playing we were dreadful, don't forget. Absolutely dreadful. And we just come off a crashing against Wolves 3-0.
Yeah.
Right. So we fast forward to the weekends when we played Newcastle. Now, did you have a little bit of confidence going into the, as a fan? Did you have a bit of confidence going?
I thought we could beat them, Frank. I thought we could beat them.
Okay.
But then again, we struggled against them, man.
Exactly. And they, it's as simple as this. It's going back to the Everton game. The Everton game, they got a corner. And from that corner, they hit the post.
Yeah.
And if that was gone in, that could have changed the whole complex of the game.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
But anyway, we just had that bit of luck because it bounced off the post. It was cleared. Great 1-2 with between Nunes and Mo Salah, and bang, goal. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
go.
As I said, we fast forward to the weekend and play in Newcastle. Now, we had to beat Newcastle to stand any chance of finishing in the top four. Now, they weren't playing so well. They started to struggle a little, as you know. They started to struggle a little in the last few weeks. So we played them at their ground.
Yeah, well, yeah.
At
Great
their
win.
ground, it was. And we beat them 2-0.
Great win, mate.
Another
Great
clean
win.
sheet. Another clean sheet. So we go to the Tuesday. So how's you feeling playing Real Madrid, a European night, a special European night, against the current way, current European Cup
Yeah.
holders. Well,
If you
the
remember,
Champions
Frank,
League
when we
holders.
spoke on the phone, at half time,
Yeah.
I said to you, there's another 3 or 4 goals in this easy. Little knowing, I thought they were going to be ours. Like, the thing was
But
coming the other way.
the point I'm making, Tommy, is how did you feel going into that game, knowing that we just come off the back of 2 fantastic wins?
Well, Anfield on the European night is special, and I thought
That's
we
what I
would
mean.
beat them.
Yeah.
Thought we would beat them.
Okay. So then we went 2-0 up. Now this is against Real Madrid,
Yeah.
the current holders of the Champions League, who beat us, by the way, who beat us in that dreadful final and the dreadful venue of Paris.
Yeah.
So they beat us 1-0. And we, my opinion, your opinion, and millions of others, to be honest, that we were the better side. We were the
by
better
far.
side. Okay, so we were beaten. European night, the back of 2 fantastic away wins, 2-0. And then we started off like a train. We started off like a runaway train. And we had them. Didn't we? We had them.
Yeah.
And we went 2-0 up. 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic. So, as you know, a dreadful mistake. Dreadful.
The 2 goals they scored were very, no, they shouldn't have. I mean, it was our mistakes. What gave
That's
them the
what
goals?
brought them into it. Yeah, Gomez should have shut down that Vinicius Junior. He should have been well shut down him. And Alisson's awful mistake, terrible mistake by the best goalkeeper in the world, apparently. Well, he is, in my opinion. He's the best goalkeeper in the world, and made a terrible blunder. That's 2 blunders against this lot, Real Madrid. One by Karius, if you remember. Right? And one by him. One by him. So there must be a little magic wand for Real Madrid going across our goalkeepers,
Can you imagine how they felt when they went in, sure?
Yeah.
They must have been thinking, yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was thinking, Tom, like I said to you at half time, I said, to be honest, they felt comfortable at 2-0 down. They were just looking around, and and we were still at it. We were still on top. We were still on top for that first 20 minutes, and I said, we could do this. But I still had this little nagging feeling in my mind that these looked comfortable. These just looked as though that they knew they could score. And score.
You've seen it as well as I did, Frank. And they're middle of the park. Run the game.
Well, this is what worries me. This is what worries me. Okay, so we actually, I hate saying it, but we ended up getting beat 5-2, conceding 3 goals. And it was the heaviest defeat in any European league.
5 goals at Anfield, mate.
Yeah.
5 goals at Anfield.
But to concede 3 in the second half.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be the heaviest defeat that we've ever suffered in Europe.
Yeah.
So this is what.
But that second half, Frank, it was one-sided.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were a much better team in the second half. Far better.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Liverpool. That's the problem with Liverpool, unfortunately. There is no midfield. And they had that young Betetic, how you pronounce his name. Anyway, he has a young Betetic. He was in it. He was making his, like, more or less, his debut against one of the elite sides in Europe.
Yeah.
And he did pretty well, but he was totally out of his depth. You know, you might think, oh, he wasn't totally out of his depth. But when you look at their midfield, he was out
Because
of
he
his
had no
depth.
one to help him, Frank. Not one of
Exactly.
them helped him.
Exactly. You know, people will think, oh, I'm being harsh on the lads. And I'm not, because it's the midfield around him. So, okay. So let's forget that now. We were soundly thrashed, and we were thrashed.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. And it was the heaviest defeat, as I keep saying, in Europe at Anfield.
Yeah.
And just think about that. So you come there the weekend against Crystal Palace.
Well, if you remember, Frank, I text you. What did I say to you on the text? Have you seen this midfield?
Yeah. Yeah.
Milner.
And that's before the game. And that's before the game.
Oh, my God.
See, when I seen that midfield, I'll go to Brian Edley in a moment because he's commenting. When I seen the midfield, you're not the only one who sent me a text saying, "Have you seen the midfield?" By the way, a few people did.
I bet I wasn't.
So you had Milner, Henderson, and Keita.
Unbelievable.
Just think about that midfield. Okay, think about it. And people will say, "Oh, well, you know, you're going on too much, or you know, or anything." Now we're chasing Tottenham. We're chasing Tottenham, aren't we?
Yeah.
And all right, let's have a look at Chelsea, who are absolutely dreadful. And here's what I'll say to you: with our midfield of Henderson, Keita, and Milner get into the midfield of Chelsea.
Behave yourself, Frank. You wouldn't get in the midfield of the Brixton pub on the corner, are you?
Well, this is what I'm saying, and we have to. We're not. We have to. I don't know. I just don't know. There's no words that can come to my mind about this.
The thing is, Frank, is Jurgen has asked them to play. He's picked them 3 players to play in that position. So they're not going to say no, are they?
Yeah, but Jurgen's going to... No, they're not going to say no, obviously, because they want to help the club. But my point is this. You know, we've got younger kids there.
Yeah.
Who to me would have put up a better show. You know, more fight in them. Like a young Betetic, for example. Yeah. Young Betetic. And he was left on the bench.
Yeah.
And then he brings him on at 6 minutes to go. Yeah. What's he going to do? Well, you know when Trent came off and Milner went right back. And, obviously, you had Jurgen playing out for the draw. And this is absolutely... I'll just get on to what Brian Edley's saying. Lads, here's a question. I do give Jurgen stick for defending, but what would you have chosen to do after the second goal? Do you either go for the juggler and kill the tie off for once, frustrating the life out of them. You know, this is like a Real Madrid he's talking about.
Is this against Real Madrid?
Yeah.
There's no way they would have let us do that. Because they were that good.
Yeah.
They were that good, mate. We couldn't do nothing about it, put it that way.
And it was their mistake, wasn't it, for the second goal, Mo's goal? It was their mistake.
Oh, you had to keep it.
And it was their mistake. But I seen the Reds go down, Tom. They could have had a little.
Oh yeah. Oh, they were sick.
Yeah, exactly.
As I said, that they've got no. When they went into all their half time, their heads must have gone like that.
Exactly.
Because we should have been. I agree with Brian. We could have got a third easy.
And as Brian Edley says, we just didn't have the staff in midfield to control it.
Well,
and there's and he goes on about Palace, the Palace game, does Brian. He says, lads, Salah was brutal against Palace. Elliott was awful when he came on. Keita, Fabinho, my dear God. Yeah.
I can only repeat your word, Brian. But the thing is with we always talk about them at the park, don't we? We always do it.
Yeah.
And over the past 4 or 5 years, when we've played some of the greatest stuff we've ever played in our lives, there's no way that team could keep going like that without strengthening it. And it comes down to FSG. They haven't given Jurgen the backing he deserved because we won everything in the game, everything in them last 4 or 5 years. And the time we should have strengthened is when we were strong, and we did not. That to me is down to FSG.
And that was, I totally agree with you. And the point is, Tom, they could have bought, as I said, 2 years ago, a midfielder. That was a strength in the midfield then. And these all had to be, at the level we were at the time. World class. Okay? And then this season, another midfielder to buy at the beginning of this season. So, with those two world-class midfielders, who'd be playing today, if you like, they'd be playing today. We mightn't be in the situation that we're in now. And it was
100%,
less money. It was a cost them less money now for what they have to pay out, because I don't believe anything they say anymore. Because how many summers have we been promised a treasure test? And the unfortunate thing is, fans believe them. They keep on believing them.
Oh, yeah.
They keep on believing them. Where on earth is Cavallo? Brian says.
I think he's injured, isn't he?
No, he was on the...
Was he on the bench? Well, that's another mystery.
I don't know whether he was. I just don't know, because even when he wasn't injured, he's never been used. And to me, that looks as though Klopp doesn't like him, doesn't trust him.
Well, why did he buy it?
Don't ask me. I haven't a clue.
He's got more chance of doing something than Naby Keita, put it that way. And
well,
Jamie Milner.
And Milner. Don't forget him. And you know that Henderson, his legs have totally and utterly have gone.
There was no legs in the middle of the park, mate. No legs at all.
And will there be any legs tomorrow night?
Well, I'd say this. Any manager coming up against us now, I've got to look at the middle of our park and going to think, that's where we're going to win the game.
Okay.
Because we haven't got one.
All right. Well, Brian Edley says, which I touched on a minute or two ago, and we'll get back to that, Tommy, by the way. We will get back to that. About the midfield and about tomorrow, who should be in and who should be out. And who should be out for the rest of the season, if you like. And Brian says, this is it. Lads, do you think we will get to spend in the summer? How much will we get to spend in the summer? And who will we be able to get?
Well, see, in the summer, there's going to be there's a bidding war going to be going on. And if we haven't got the right money, we'll be right out of it. We'll buy another few crops, more than likely.
Okay, and that's a very good point because Jürgen said at the beginning of the summer, on the penultimate day, and I keep repeating this, and people take no notice. And he said to the journos, because someone asked him, the journalist asked on the penultimate day if he'd be buying in the before the window shut a midfielder, and he just said, "Okay, you were right, and I was wrong." He knew that we needed midfielders, and he knew that the owners weren't giving them the money to buy them. And we ended up buying, loaning a fella who's played 17 minutes for us since last August.
He's got a
Think
fractured
about,
hip, I think.
think about that. No, I'm not talking. I'm not. I'm talking about Arthur Mello.
I didn't even know we had him.
We're talking. And you know what? It's a funny one because they're going. Arthur Mello might get a chance. He's fit now. He's playing for the under 21s and 23s. He's getting match time. And you think, you what? But anyway, getting back to what Brian said, how much do you think is needed?
At least 300 or 400 million. Easy.
Exactly. And that's the point. If we couldn't spend, like for two players in the summer, 100 million for two players, 50 million each, say, for example. What chance are the owners to say to their club, to you and me, we're going to give your manager 350 million, between 3 and 350 million to buy players?
The thing is, Frank, you say, no, you go 300, 400 million. How much money have we made over the last 5 years?
Well, it's just come out now, hasn't it, in the last few hours, that we're in profit.
I should
But
think so.
like the likes of Nike, for example, for this year, it generated 260 million or whatever it was, 260 million. But then they bring in the cost, like players' wages, the electricity bill, the gas bill, and every other bill, and that's all that comes out of it.
Yeah.
So we made a profit of like 107 million or something like that.
But what about the money we made actually on the pitch?
Well, that's the point. See, we owe them money.
How much?
I don't know, 300 million or something. I don't know. They lent us the money. Now, it's like me. Saying to, if I was married, that is, saying to the wife, she'll say, "Oh, listen, we need new windows. We need new windows. It's that they're horrible." And I'll go, "Yeah, okay." And we need a new roof because all the tires are. Oh, well, okay. Well, I tell you what, darling, I'll lend you the money, and you pay me. And she'll say, "But it's your house, as well." Well, yeah, but I don't want to pay out. So I'll lend you the money, but you pay me back. And that's what it's like to me. They own the club. It's their club. They are making a lot of money. Yet.
They paid how much? 300 million for us.
Yeah.
And it's worth, what, about 4.5 billion now, isn't it?
Yeah. So have they been paid back? You wouldn't, Coco. You wouldn't, Coco. They've been paid back. I don't even know how much fold. How much fold?
Yeah. I'd like them to come on LFC or whatever show they want to go on and explain where the money is.
Well, but they won't. They say that it goes on the wages now.
No.
You know, there's always excuses.
Yeah.
You know, we're self-sustainable. So what does make the owners self-sustainable? What makes them? Yeah. They're not sitting there for nothing now. They're going, oh, well, you're all self-sustainable now. So everything.
What about the merchandise? What about the merchandise? It's crazy.
Exactly. And we're the third richest world club, right?
Yeah.
We're the richest third club in the world. The richest third club.
Oh, the Yanks are.
That's because we can't afford anyone unless we sold someone to bring them in. But that's the sustainable model that they've got.
Yeah, but we've said this. We sell our best players. And we can't buy anyone as good as them.
No.
Crazy.
No.
All top teams don't sell their best players unless they've got someone to take their place. And that's what we never done.
Well, you know, here's what Charlie Kane says. He says, I can name you 4 lads who can give out the drinks in the dressing room at half time. Right? He says, Fabinho, Milner. There's 2 of them.
I hope he says Naby Keita.
Yeah, that's what he says, Keita. He says Keita, Milner, Fabinho. Giving out the drinks at half time. But you're getting these people, you know, you're getting some fans who are saying, give Milner another year. That'll bring them up to 40. Give another year.
I mean,
he's the old. When he went right back, Tommy. I'm sorry to
go on.
When he went to right back, he was the oldest right back in the whole of the Premiership. The oldest, and Klopp puts him there.
And how do you think Trent feels when he gets taken off for the 37-year-old man? How do you think Trent feels?
Exactly. But Trent was going mad, wasn't he? Did you see him telling him to F off? He told Henderson to F off.
Because Henderson never shuts up at them. I mean,
no.
I'm not slagging him or Milner off. Well, they shouldn't be in the team.
No, they shouldn't. No, and that's whose fault is it? You can't blame Klopp either, because there's no one there.
There's no one else to choose.
The investment. Milner should have gone years ago. I don't care what anyone says. He should have gone years ago and replaced.
He should have gone back to Leeds where he wants to go.
But unfortunately, we keep on buying injury-prone players.
And ours are not just out for a week. They're out for months.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Well, we'll be going back to that about tomorrow's game, actually. But they are out for months. And when they come back, Jota, for example, he's not even he's nowhere near match fit.
No.
We're fitter than him, Tom. You know what I mean?
Oh, have you been drinking?
Been drinking Charlie Kearns' Gold's Watch. So, okay, let's get into a couple of questions here. Right, so I'll get into them. Brian Edley, Frank, how much did AXA give the club? Was it 400 million or was that rubbish? Frank, before the show is over, let me know about the place where you can get the T-shirts. I've got it. Yeah, I've got one on. I will do, because I always try to advertised the small businesses of Michael Keane at scarf or badge. Great quality stuff, by the way. And Mick Carter says, Milner, no. That's what he says about Milner. Brian, is this all the so-called owners blame Jürgen for the defending? But that's all. That's what Brian Edley says. This is all on the so-called owners. I blame Jürgen for the defending, but that's all. Would you agree with that, by the way?
No. No, because you look, Van Dijk, Mo Salah, they've all dropped down a level. All of them. Yeah, most of our leading goal scorer. But you look at Virgil, you look at Trent, you look at Robbo, you look at Mo, they've all dropped down a level. And that's understandable for the way they played over the last 5 years. There's no way they could keep that going. No way. And that's where we should have strengthened. So it's down to FSG.
No, I totally agree with you. And we don't have to, say, oh, we should have strengthened them, because we were saying it then.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
were saying, why haven't we? See, don't forget, why he was keeping Milner, in my opinion, he was versatile. He can play in midfield, but he should never have played in midfield. He was gone. He was past the sell-by date to me 4 years ago. But he kept him so, in case something happens at right back.
Yeah.
And what did he do? We had that young Nico Williams. We had him, and we sold him.
Yeah.
We sold Nico Williams, who played well for us, by the way.
Obviously, he thinks Milner's better than all that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he keeps. I said to you, Tom, 2 years ago, Milner, Henderson, his legs. I said that to you, Tom, and you said, yeah, well, but he's our captain. He's playing well, and I said, but don't we need to replace him now? And that was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago, Tom. Now, the whole lot need replacing. We couldn't say anything about Keita, only moans at that. Does this fella ever get fit? He's always injured. Oxlade-Chamberlain, the same. Doesn't this fella keep fit? He's always injured. It's everything. It's always our players getting injured. Every one of them. And then when you look now at Thiago's injured. And he's always been injury prone. Thiago.
The thing is with Keita, he kicks everything by the ball. Don't you watch him? He could have got sent off the other night if Jürgen Klopp would have brought him up at half time.
Yeah,
he would have been sent off.
Okay, let's put it this way. On Saturday night against Crystal Palace, right? Forget about Keita now. Let's just leave him out of the equation. What was our midfield doing? What was the other fella, soft lads, and Milner doing?
Not much.
What were they doing? What were they doing?
They were trying to keep up with the Crystal Palace midfield.
Okay, so Keita, did you see Milner in midfield or Henderson give a wild tackle?
No,
I didn't.
Or a pass?
Keita did. Keita was getting stuck in. He's trying to get stuck in.
Yeah, but he's got to get the ball sometimes, Frank.
Exactly. No, I understand that. Jake Whittaker says, we need a few world-class midfielders. Why didn't we go out and get Bellingham? Why don't we go out and get Bellingham, Declan Rice, and move Trent Arnold into midfield and go out and get the Barcelona right back?
Totally agree with it. Totally agree with that.
It's a
Totally.
very good shout. It's a very, very good shout, that, Jay. It really is, mate. It's a very,
Brilliant
very
shout,
good
that.
shout.
Brilliant shout.
Do you know who I'd love to get? Frankie de Jong from Barca.
De Jong. Yeah, yeah.
He's brilliant. And he's in dispute over his wages with Barca. I think we could have had him in the summer, by the way. You know, if we put a bid in and said, do you want to come here?
Yeah.
And he was jumped at the chance of coming here.
Yeah, but he said you had to play second fiddle to James Milner.
No, we don't want De Jong. We're giving Milner another contract.
Another 12 months, yeah.
Yeah, and our captain,
Yeah. Hey, better captains of him have gone, mate. And I'm not slagging him off, by the way. I'm not slagging him off.
No one is. But, you know, you've got to be upfront. You've got to be honest. You've got to be honest within yourself and, you know, the people out there.
Well past the sell-by date, mate.
Yeah, they've gone. And for other fans to say, give him another contract. And this is Henderson as well, by the way, another contract. He's 33. Yeah. Milner's 38. Ridiculous.
How many players have retired and Milner's still playing?
Exactly.
How many of his teammates have retired who he's played with over the years?
Exactly. Michael Carter says, every window we don't replace the players, the rebuild gets bigger. Every window, if there's no one to replace, we never replaced Gini Wijnaldum, did we?
No.
We didn't replace him. And he was the fittest out of the lot of them, all the midfielders, and the best midfielder.
And could score goals too.
Yeah, score goals. And, you know, so, no, we're not going to give you a wage rise, Jenny. Yeah. I'm going to let you go at the end of the season for nothing. Yeah. Good business, wasn't it?
Scandalous.
Yeah. Brian Edley says, lads, top four, yes or no? Well, I won't be answering that, and Tommy won't be answering that yet until we're discussing the coming game tomorrow and the coming game on Sunday. So we won't discuss that yet, Brian. So can't believe he never took him off after this yellow. Was begging to get censor. Same with Fabinho when he came on. Count the fouls Milner and Fabinho do in the match, and you could do 10 times table. You could do the 10 times table.
Yeah.
But it's right.
Because they have to foul because they can't keep up with it.
You can't keep up with them. And Milner's been doing that for years. For the last few years, they can't keep up. They just fly past, and you know, they say, oh, he's the fittest fella there. He's not the fittest. He might be the fittest to run a few yards.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lads out there who are far fitter than him. And I'm not talking about Liverpool players. I'm talking about the opposition. And this is what these people forget. They're not talking about the fittest at Liverpool. You know, they don't think about the opposition. Very quick wingers.
Yeah. That's what I say when they come up against us now, Frank. They just lock the middle of our park and think that's where we're going to win the game.
Because they run over.
Yeah.
No matter how good this young Betetic is, they run over. They just
can't do it on his own.
Yeah. Brian Edley should have signed a proper right back or midfielder before Gakpo. Don't know why, he says. And Michael Carter says no to, I don't know who he's saying no to, he must be saying no to somebody. The thing is, Brian, should have signed a proper right back. We bought a proper right back, and he's not going to play this season. And that's that young, what's his name? Calvin Ramsey.
The Scots lad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's not going to play a game this season.
And he's only a baby.
Yeah.
And he's injured till the end of the season.
Yeah.
We don't get ordinary injuries, Frank, though, do we? We get really bad ones.
Well, okay, all right, right. We signed Gapcom, right? We just signed Gapcom in the winter, right? In the January. But listen to this. So the players that we do buy, right? You know, the likes of Cavallo, where's he? We bought it. Where is he? I don't think Klopp likes him. My opinion. And then we bring in a midfielder, right? Arthur Melo on loan, injured, right? And then we buy another cheapskate, Ramsey. You know, they're not paying out anything. I think the other fella, Cavallo, cost like 7 million or something, and this kid costs 7 million or something like that. So it's cheapskates to me. And you know, the great new prospect. So Ramsey, injured. He was injured when we signed him. Arthur Melo on a loan was injured when we signed him. He's just getting over an injury. And then, as I said, Cavallo. And then in the window, the January window, we're screaming out for midfielders because we're getting run all over the place. And who he brings in is Gakpo, because Manchester United were interested in him. I wouldn't have been bothered if he'd gone to Manchester United the way he's shaping up for us.
But
I'll get slagged off for that. I'll get slagged off for that because he scored 2 goals in how many games? 8 or 9.
I've seen him have one decent game in 7.
Okay.
That's when he scored.
But they say the excuses come and fly. And what I mean by they come and fly, Tommy, is that they're saying he's finding his feet. Right. And if someone comes in and says, well, what about other players who come in and find their feet right away? Hit the ground running? Oh, well, he's not used to the Premier League. And neither were the players who came in hit the ground running. So where's the excuse? And there is no he's playing out of position, you know. So you're getting all the excuses for the lad. Yeah. To me, you said he's had one decent game. One decent game.
Yeah.
How did he find decent?
Well, you've seen something of him. You've seen something of him what you think he looked half decent, say, like that. Compared to what he played in the previous 4 or 5, he looked, no, I just thought, look at this lad go now, are you? Using this, because he's a big lad.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden it stopped again.
I thought he'd be a good header of the ball, you know, and he missed a sitter.
Yeah.
Last week, you know, last Saturday night, the ball came over. It was a cracking ball. Forget he put it over. I don't know whether it was Robertson. I'm not quite so sure. But anyway, the ball came over nevertheless. The ball came over and he headed it. And it went well wide.
Yeah.
So he's got a head like a threepenny bit.
Yeah. I know it. He hasn't played. Has he played in the Premiership before? No.
No.
So
ask me if Suarez did. Ask me if Suarez did. Ask me if Torres did. Ask me, you know, all of them.
Frank, you're talking about exceptional players there, mate.
Yes or no? So is he
not
an exceptional player?
Exactly. No, not at all. No.
Thank you. Top Scouser says, pair of nonsense, you two. Pair of nonsense. Thank you, Top. Well, Top.
Blue Rose.
Yeah, I don't know. No, he's a Top Scouser.
Oh, is he? Right. Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely a top scouser. Calling us a pair of nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah, we know nothing about football, do we? We know nothing.
You won't get around us like that, you know.
No, you won't. I don't know. I'd love him to say, define nonce. Top scouser. Top scouser. Come on. He's definitely not from Liverpool. Then top scouser. They're all top scouser, you know. I don't think so. I don't think so. But anyway, Brian Edley says, will we get top 4? Yes or no?
My honest opinion?
Yeah.
No.
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 See, we've dropped. I remember last season, I said to you, Tom, when we drew at Tottenham down here, it was a midweek game, and we drew 1-1 with them down here. This is when we were flying, by the way.
Yeah.
And Tottenham, to me, was just also round, against the likes of us and City. And I said to you, this could be pivotal for the end of the season, this. And it was. Because if we would have won that game, we would have won the title.
Yeah, that's right.
We would have won a treble.
Yeah.
That's it. I said that.
Margins like that. No, it's. And when you think about last year, Frank, we played every game what we should have played. Every game.
Yeah.
Every game we were entitled to play, and we played in it.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a. No, that's a hell of a thing to do. That.
Yeah, but they're excuses, Tom. And this is where we should have replenished the side.
That's what I'm just coming to. That team has been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years. And everybody knew they can't keep that up. It's impossible to sustain that momentum. It's impossible to keep that going. That's when we should have rebuilt. And I agree with that.
See, what we see and what we witness in games, the cringeworthy sometimes, especially, this season, obviously. I'm not talking about last season or whatever, or any previous seasons. And I was sitting there today and I was watching a midfield that dominated. It was the best in the Premiership at the time. And it was Steven Gerrard, Xabi Alonso, and Javier Mascherano.
Yeah.
And I said, if only they would be in the midfield today. But there's nobody, not even that young Betetic, to touch them.
Not one of them can be compared with them. And that's why I always go back, Frank. How did we not win the Premiership with that team?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
No, I agree, but what I'm saying is, they lasted years. How long did Steven Gerrard last? And how long did Alonso last? And how long did Javier Mascherano last? They
all tough tacklers. And if they were out for a week at the most.
Yes. Yeah.
Now we get a tough tackle or a tight hamstring. He's out for 3 months.
Yeah.
Crazy. I don't even know how that happens.
Peter, and I can't get over top Scotia saying you're a pair of nonsense, you two.
Very kind of you. Very kind of you. Thank you very much.
Exactly that. Michael Carter says no to top 4.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And Brian Edley says no higher than 5th.
For us to get up to the top 4, there's got to be a big catastrophe above us.
Yeah. No,
I can't see that happening.
I can't see it myself, to be honest, because when you look at some people and they're saying, as I said, they're saying give Milner another, contract, and they see nothing wrong with Milner. And these people, they're not from Liverpool. They're not from Liverpool. And they don't get the vibes of the city. They just don't get it. To see what we're experiencing, what we're talking about, and whatever. And they just think that Milner is and Henderson, we've got to give the captain, you can't drop you see it on social media. You can't drop the captain. He's our captain.
Yeah.
What's that all about? And as you said at the beginning of the show, you get rid of captains. They're like
the better captains than them.
Hansen and everybody.
Yeah. In my opinion, when Virgil come, he should have been given the captaincy right away.
Right away, yeah.
Yeah,
right away. I agree. And you get Milner coming on, from the 35 years of age onwards.
Swapping armbands.
And taking the armband off Henderson when he goes up.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
He's like, that ain't taking it easy. We've got our prices in that elbow.
Exactly. He's not even getting a full game, and that's going back to when he was 35.
Yeah.
What do you think? Klopp would you just turn around and says, he's me. Now listen, Millie, lads, I'm going to take the vice captaincy off you. I'm giving it to the big Verge. Why couldn't he say that?
I'll tell you what I would do with Milner. I'd sack John Achterberg and make him the goalkeeper coach. Because John Achterberg won the lottery when he got that job.
Yeah. Yeah.
He couldn't get a game at Saudi Arabia, and he's telling the best goalkeeper in the world how to keep goal.
Exactly.
Beyond
but
me.
Didn't he bring in, I'm sure he brought in a Brazilian fella, They brought him in, goalkeeping coach.
Yeah.
And Achterberg's still there, so he might be, giving the lads in the under-21s or 23s or whatever the lads are out that they're playing. Give him
He's always sitting on the bench behind Jurgen Klopp.
Well, he's a part of the team, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
So he gets it there. Taffarel, says Brian Edley. His name is Taffarel. So he's the coach of Big Ali. He's the coach.
All right.
And Michael Carter says, Tommy, do you think the injuries we have is because of Klopp's training? That's a good question.
Well, Mick, when he first come, I did. Because you remember when he first come, they were dropping like flies. But they're all used to his training now. Myself personally, I think we overprotect them. When they're injured, they're taking no chances on bringing them back.
No.
That's why they're out for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do agree with that. Like, his training when he first come was brutal.
But when you look at the injuries to the hamstrings,
yeah,
the 17 injuries to hamstrings. Think about that. 17. So there must be something in the training method. There must be.
Well, they must be used to it now. He's been there 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, no, it's just either we're very, very unlucky or we wrap them in cotton wool. I don't know.
Yeah. Charlie Kane says, no top 4, but owners, they will be happy with Europa League. More matches, more money, and they're great. Frank. Says Charlie
Totally agree with him. Totally agree with Charlie there, yeah.
Because whether it's Europa League or anything, Anfield would be full anyway.
Yeah, but it doesn't encourage top players to come there, does it?
No, it doesn't. And this is the problem. I go on these different podcasts and I'm looking at them. And all on the lips is, which I can't understand some of them, is Jude Bellingham coming to Liverpool. Jude Bellingham. We don't like Jude Bellingham. But as I keep saying, it's not up to Jude Bellingham where he goes.
Yeah.
It's up to his club.
It's up to Dortmund where he goes. Yeah.
Because if Liverpool are going to, well, let's say they say, yeah, we'll give you 130 because I think that'll be the going price. We'll give you 130 over the next 5 years. Right? And someone comes in and says, we'll give you 130 tomorrow. What are they going to do? They're going to take the tomorrow bid.
Yeah.
And there's no way
the players got no say anyway.
No. And there's no way that FSG are going to pay 130 million for anybody.
No.
No chance.
Unless we sell Mo Salah.
No.
And Trent Alexander.
I think well, because Trent Alexander, you can see by his body language, you can see his attitude.
Pissed off, mate. He's really, really pissed off with it. You can see it.
But don't you think that he could have easily have been told and said, see, look, there's the rumour that came out that Mo Salah will be leaving at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And his agent came out today, didn't he, or yesterday, and said, no, it's nonsense, he's not leaving. Well, they're bound to say that.
Well, he said that about Suarez. He said that about Suarez.
Exactly. So what you've got the attitude of Trent, because he looks really fed up.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. He does, yeah.
Could he have been told? Now, don't forget, we have to sell to buy. No matter what FSG say, we have to sell to buy. So the most sellable players in that team now, it's certainly not, it's certainly not, if you know what I mean. So it's going to be Mo Salah and Trent Arnold.
Yeah. And
Real Madrid go after him.
I think you said this weeks ago to me, Frank, and I thought, geez. No, can you imagine that? Well, everybody's got to, if they've got to go, they've got to go. I mean, I wouldn't sell Mo Salah and I wouldn't sell Trent Arnold. But if that's the case, but we're selling our best players and keeping the cannon fodder.
Well, this is it. It is the cannon fodder. And that's the unfortunate thing. When I look at, the injury-prone players, Tommy, no matter what happens, we've said on numerous occasions that he needs to go, and 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 he needs to go. And the point is, we'll have to keep some of them.
Yeah.
We'll have to. Because every one of them will not be replaced.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
If you had to get rid of 4, what 4 would you get shut of?
What 4? Okay, let's get to Jake Whittaker, because he's just come out and said something. He says, I think we can get top 4. We got to beat Wolves. If we win tomorrow, we'll be 4 points behind, and then got to beat Man United to get a bit of momentum. I remember beating.
I love his optimism.
I remember beating City. Remember when we lifted our game against them, and we played brilliant, and we said, didn't we? This is it now. We're just gonna push now from. And that was like months ago when we beat City. We're going to push on now. And we didn't. We were awful the following week. It's just nuts. Absolutely nuts.
when we play well, we can beat anyone, but we'll never beat anyone with that midfield he picked the last
No.
game against Palace.
Okay. No, you're right there, Jake, because the point is we've got to win the games. We can't afford not to draw. We can't afford. We should have beat Crystal Palace the other night. But there wasn't. We were just awful again. We were awful. Terrible. We were absolutely terrible. But
And coming to the match tomorrow, I mean, I don't care what anyone tells me. When they go across that white line, they must have the doubt in their head about the previous game. So they say, no, they're up for it, and they'll go and get. But they still, I mean, once they come waltzing through the middle, Virgil and Matip, whoever's there, and Robbo, and if Trent's there, they know they're going to be up against it. And that's
yeah,
our weakness now, is our defence, as
yeah.
well as the middle of the park. The two main areas on the pitch, and they're our weaknesses.
Well, Charlie Kane says Jones, Keita, Henderson, Fabinho, Gabbo, send them back to the paint firm. Gabbo,
Well, the first four, I
Gabbo,
agree with them in the first four, yeah.
Gabbo, send them back to the paint firm.
The first four, I totally agree with.
But you know, it's just one of these things where are we desperate? I'm talking about us fans. Are we desperate, for this fourth? Or, and this is another question, or was it give the owners a good shaking not to finish in the top four? Would it give the fans a good shaking not to get into the top four?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Liverpool, we've learned over the years, never write them off. Never write them off. But at the minute,
But those
I
top
just,
four,
I
Brian
just can't
Edwards
see it.
says Gomez, Gomez to go. I think they'll keep Gomez because we've got to keep somebody. And I
Yeah.
think they'll keep Henderson as well. I really
Or
do.
they
We've got to keep these
definitely keep
players.
Jordan Anderson. They'll definitely keep him. No way they're going to get rid of him. No way. No, who's going to buy him anyway? Even on a
True.
free, they're not going to get him.
Dave
But
Hughes,
you looked at Oxlade Chamberlain.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Fabinho, Keita, Milner, and I'm even talking about Harvey Elliott now. By the way, he hasn't impressed me at all this season.
What about Thiago? Would you get shut of him? Because he's what, 32?
Yeah, but you're not going to
And
get the money for him, mate, are you?
he'll be Henderson's age by the time if he gets a new contract or his contract's up. And, he's injury prone. So
Well, that's the
to
only
get
thing.
shut of him as well.
Well, the thing is, Frank, who's going to buy him?
Exactly.
Not the money we paid for him anyway.
No. No. See, they've got to be replaced, and there's no way that Liverpool will replace any of them. Any of them. Unless we sell.
Yeah.
Dave Hughes says, good evening, Frank, and all with you. I hope, yes, thank you, Dave, and the same to you. Good evening to you. And Michael Carter says, Frank, the owners have come out and said no top four. It will affect the money for the summer. No top four,
It's affected it over the last 5 years.
Yeah. But where has the money been when we had won it and been it over the years? Of course. Well, there's going to be apparently more investment.
Well, that's what they want.
But I do not believe them. I don't believe them. They're the washing machine, aren't they? They're the washing machine. They spin things. They're a
Oh,
good
yeah.
spinning group.
Yeah, the businessman. That's it.
How many times have we been told about a summer, big bite thing, a big bite, we're going to bring everybody in. How many players are we linked with?
Oh, yeah.
It's all spin. And people believe it because, see who we're going to get, see who we're linked to it. And they're all made up. And we don't get any of them. No, this season alone, we were linked with 20 midfielders. 20. Not 2 or 3. 20. Not one.
Yeah.
We didn't get one, Tommy. Not one.
But
See,
I don't slag it. I mean, I'd have Jurgen Klopp as manager for as long as he wants to be manager, right? But he's bought them. He bought Gakpo. No, he's bought these players.
I don't think he bought Gakpo, I think it was that Pep Linders who bought him. I think he nudged him and said, "Yeah, I get him instead."
Well, what did that say about Jurgen Klopp?
I don't know.
If he's interfering that much, what did that say about Jurgen? Instead of telling him to, you sit down there, that's your job there.
Yeah. Charlie Cairns says, we could sell 10 players and our goalie, Adrian, and we would not miss any of them. He's right, though, isn't he?
Yeah. Float head to buy 4. That would do.
Yeah.
Imagine we wouldn't. I don't think we get 20 million for the 10 of them.
I think we have to pay their.
We'd have to pay them to take them.
Exactly. I think it's a big worry, as bad as it is now. We can't believe these owners for the summer, and it's filtering through, which is true because people are starting to question, the owner's attitude.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I keep saying this, and I've said it before, whether you agree or disagree. In November, they said it was leaked out, wasn't it? Leaked. And where it was leaked from, don't forget, FSG, John Henry owns a newspaper, You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, he owns the Boston Times or Boston, whatever it is.
The Boston Herald, or whatever it is.
No, whatever it is. And it was leaked from there to a British journalist. Right, a British journalist. Just think about it. So it was leaked, selling, and everybody was made up, weren't they? Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone who, get in there. We're all made up. Everybody was made up, right? And I said at the time, and there's a girl named Marie Buckley, and she's very good. She's a big red and whatever. And I said to her, this is a ploy. This is a ploy. Looking at the fans, whether they be made up or disappointed that they're going. So the fan base was split down the middle. And they looked at that. They looked at it. And said, well, they must have said, well, there's half of them, the main supporters who still back us. And there's the ones who have always disliked us, who said they're all made up, Right. So that's the ploy, to see the reaction of the fans. But the biggest one was by the time January was coming, because we were all moaning whether you liked FSG, whether you disliked FSG, whether you weren't worried about FSG, the owners. Honestly, the fans were saying why didn't we buy in the summer? Why didn't we buy midfielders? They were saying that right up to the November. So if that wouldn't have come out that they were selling, so by the time January came, what would the fans be saying? They'd be saying, we hope that you're going to put your hands in your pocket to buy midfielders. That's what they would been saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but they couldn't say that because it was in their minds that they were selling. You know, they had Arabs and everything. They had everybody.
Qatar. The whole country was going to buy us.
Exactly. And Americans, Chinese, you name them, they were all going to buy us, every one of them. And it was in the paper.
We've had enough of Yanks, haven't we?
Yeah. So anyway, you know, this was it. So by the time the window shut, the following week, they turned around and said, hey, we're not selling. Yeah. It's so that the fans wouldn't get on their backs. Yeah. If the truth be known. If the truth be known, the fans wouldn't be on their backs.
Well, I think the fans will. If we don't perform and get to the top four, I think the fans will be on their backs.
But as someone said,
this can't keep going on. It
can't keep. It can't keep going on. But as Michael Carter said, you know, what it is, whether we get top four or not, the money's there. How many times has that been said?
Yeah,
it's been said ever since they've taken custody of the club.
Yeah. But just say the last 5 years, when we won everything in world football, we spent 200 million a season. Over 5 seasons, we haven't spent a carrot, really.
No.
That would be.
Well, the net spend's averaging 20 million. That's the net spend.
But you're looking at,
which is not.
You're looking at £1 billion worth, what we haven't had.
Yeah.
That's just on 200 million a season over the last 5 years. And we haven't had it. We haven't had nothing. Oh. And some of the fans think they've saved us. Oh, they saved us this, saved us that. They've done nothing for us. Nothing.
Well, this is what I mean. You know, they built the new stands and they lent us the money. You couldn't make it up.
Yeah.
And they're building the Annie Rose stands and they've lent us the money. You know, you couldn't
and
make
it
up.
Club.
And it's their club. Yeah. So listen, fans, if you want a nice stand with a nice roof, you're going to pay for it. So the more you buy in here, the more you come here. And that's why they wanted to raise the prices. Remember that?
Yeah.
They wanted to raise the prices. And remember when we were called customers? The Boston Globe, they own, says Michael Carter.
Boston Globe.
And he says, just about get a bag of chips after selling them players. You know. All right then, Sam. What you think of tomorrow? I'm going to put the camera on. So you tell me. I can still listen. Go ahead, Sam.
I think we'll win the game.
Okay.
I think we'll win it. I'm not saying we're going to play out of our skins or not like that, but I think the team knows. Yeah, I think the team knows that only wins now are going to be any use to us. We can't afford to even draw the game now, mate. Mind you, the stakes of Chelsea at the weekend, they were very poor. But the likes of Arsenal. Come on.
Name your midfield.
Tomorrow?
Yep.
It has to be the young kid, better check. Carvalho. And Curtis Jones.
Curtis
That's
Jones,
right.
there's a surprise, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who'd you put in defence?
Well, you've got to be shocked here. I'd play Gomez and Virgil van Dijk and Trent and Robbo.
Well, what about Connaughton, because he's supposedly fit now?
Oh, is he back? Oh, well,
and
if he's
ready to
fit,
go.
it's a no-brainer, then he'd be in it.
Okay.
Oh, you know what you could do? No, the other left back we got,
Simicast, yeah.
I'd put him right back and put Trent in the middle.
That's a good shout. But I
He
think
can't do no worse, can he?
no, you can't. But the point is, with the likes of Klopp, I think he wants to give Trent, another go. Because I
If you
remember
look
him
over the
going
last
out.
few games, Frank, you see Trent, and he's never at the right back position.
No.
He's always in the middle of the park or forward.
Okay. I'm just gonna. Yeah. Okay. So be careful about this. Name, right? Name your forwards.
Yeah.
3 forwards, just 3. But just think about
Wait,
it.
I am. Is Luis Diaz back yet?
No, he's another
No.
few weeks left.
Oh, he'd be out. Well, it's got to be Nunez, Salah, and Firmino.
Now, don't forget the likes of Nunes. We don't really know about his shoulder injury because his shoulder. No one knows, but he's been training.
Jesus Christ, he fell over and banged his shoulder, Frank. Know what I mean? He never got a 18-stone rugby player in him.
Exactly.
But if he's fit, I play Nunes, Salah, and Bobby up front.
Who up front? Salah.
Mo Salah, Nunes, and Bobby Firmino.
And Bobby Firmino, good shout that.
Yeah.
So what about Gakpo?
He'd be on the bench.
What about Jota?
He'd be on the bench. As we said before, he's not match fit, Jota, so.
Say that again, so.
He's not match fit, Jota, mate.
No, I said that. I said that myself.
And don't get me wrong, I like Jota.
Yeah.
But I'd play Bobby because Bobby's got a brain. He takes players away and gives room for other players to come in. And he does it all the time. And his feet are so quick. That's why I'd have him up front. Because he makes things happen.
Okay. But Brian Edley says, have to pick. Who's that, Jaden? Up at the golf. Oh, he's going. Thanks, lads. Great show. Really enjoyed that. Hopefully make it back. Anyway, that's
right.
I'll tell you who adds a play in midfield. And it's going to be controversial, this.
Go on.
Henderson, Milner, and Keita.
You're just taking the piss now. Shut up.
I know. Try to wind you up. To be honest, I've got a good question here from Michael Carter here. Right? So I'll go to that in a moment. You'd have to play Batatic. He's got to play.
Yeah.
Batatic. And if it be known, I'd have to play Harvey Elliott. I'd have to.
Well, for me, it was a toss-up between them or Jones.
But I tell you what, Henderson will play. He's bound
Of
to
course he
bring
will.
in the captain. He's
Of course
bound
he
to.
will.
So, but you know, Elliott's better than most. But I won't be surprised if he picks his favourite player,
Oh, you can
Millie.
put money on it, mate. Put money on it.
Millie, honestly. But I think that's a good show, what you said about
Simikas.
putting Samikas. But then again,
Uh,
Samikas is a left back, not a
Well,
right
I'd
back.
put Robbo over there. Robbo can play either side.
And then
Just
put
try Trent in the middle. Just try Trent in the middle and just see what he does. Because the few games you've seen him, the last few games, that's where he ends up, in the middle of the park.
So
That's why Milner
Fabinho,
was playing. Fabinho, I wasn't playing, mate. I wasn't playing.
no, Charlie Kane says he wouldn't last 90 minutes for Fabinho.
No.
Well, does he mean
Who, Bobby?
he might mean Bobby, yeah?
Yeah, well, I'm not saying 90 minutes. But for the time he's on, he'll cause more damage. He'll open spaces up. Then you bring the likes of Jota on or whoever. But I'd definitely start with Bobby. Nunes and Salah.
I bring Jota on as well because he's had now minutes under his belt.
Yeah,
He's had
yeah,
minutes, so he could start with Jota.
yeah.
He could start with Jota in the middle, with Nunes on the left and Salah on the right.
Yeah, well, either one. But for me, with Bobby, you see the other players running around like nutcases, finding room or move. He just strolls through the game. It's like not an effort to. Just strolls it. And at each pass, he knows where it's going. And
But
that's what I love
sometimes,
about him.
but sometimes his passes are so short and lackadaisical. Don't you
Because the
think?
players,
I,
well,
I
the
think
players should be there to pick it up. He's
no.
ahead of the others.
Yeah, yeah. Do you believe
No,
that he should be given another, another contract? By the way,
yeah, I do. Yeah,
because what he wants another. I think he wants a 2-year one rather than a
I'd,
1-year one.
I'd give him a 2-year one because I think he's that good in our team. When you look at the others around him, he's pretty good in that team compared to the others.
Milner is Jürgen's butler in his house. It's Charlie Cairns.
Who's this script writer?
Exactly. But I look at it like this: the back four.
Yeah.
I'd still play Trent and Robertson,
Oh
two
yeah.
fullbacks. Konate
Okay.
and the big
Yeah.
Verge.
Oh
Right,
yeah. If Konate's fit, that's it. He's in.
right. So I play them in midfield. I'm serious now. Batatic, Henderson. See, if you wanted Jones in, he'd have to play the number 6. He's have to play the number 6 on the left. On the left, that's where it's hard, really. But anyway, I think Jurgen will go with Batatic, Fabinho, and Henderson. I really
Oh
believe.
yeah.
I really believe that. And up front, as I said, if the other fella's fit, Nunes, I'd go along. I'd put Jota in the middle rather than Fabinho. I'd put him in the middle because he's a proper striker.
Yeah. I've got no argument with that.
Because we've got to score.
Yeah.
We have to score. We have to go all out and to
The
win
thing
this
is, Frank,
game.
Who have we got in the middle of the park who scores? Nobody.
No one. No, it hasn't been for years. It hasn't been for years. It hasn't been since Steven Gerrard left.
Crazy.
There was only, as you said before, he could score goals, and that was Ginny Wijnaldum.
Didn't even know, didn't you?
He chipped in with a few.
Well, he chipped him with two medal balls, I can remember.
Yeah, Barca.
Yeah.
Barca. But, you know, we've had no one. There's no one there who you could rely on to get a goal. Fabinho. No. I remember Fabinho scoring about 3 in 4 or 5 matches. Yeah. And he said that's the most he's ever scored in one season, if you know what I mean.
Because you know how we play? Everyone's trying to put the boot through it. Nobody outside the box, if you see a chance. But it'll end up back with Alisson. How many times have you seen it this season? On the edge of their box. And the ball ends up back at Alisson.
Yeah.
To come again. That really does my head. It does my head.
It's sad, isn't it, when you think that, you know, the depth of the squad was shocking. I mean, for quality, there was absolutely no quality in the depth of the squad. And we had to rely on at least 14 players. And out of them 14, half of the team was injured.
Yeah. That's what I was saying before, Frank, about the way we played over the last 4 or 5 years with the same players.
Yeah.
There's no way they could keep that going.
No.
The style of play we played, the football we played, the speed. The players are not going to keep. I mean, I don't know if you've done it for 4 or 5. I don't know if you've done it. But you knew the wheels were going to come up sooner or later. And I was coming home to roost now.
And the wheels did come up.
When we should have strengthened, when we were strong.
Yeah. But we've been saying that for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And we don't make excuses on this particular show. We don't make excuses. We just say it as it is, which it should be as well. And you had that Scouse, top Scouser. Because you're telling the truth. You're telling the truth.
Shall I look it up, Frank? I'll look it up and see what it says.
See what it says? Nonsense.
Nonsense. Yeah.
No, you know what a nonsense is, don't you?
No, I haven't got a clue.
Well, but you don't because nonsense are there.
Oh, yeah. Well, obviously that lad's brain damaged. Because if that's what he thinks me and you are, he should be locked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've just seen what it meant.
Yeah. Oh, I knew what it meant.
No, I didn't. I've just seen it.
But then again, you know, as I said, these are the... I don't know, top scout. He's
not a football fan, anyway.
But you just take his name, you know, his name, not his real name, but his name.
Yeah.
Top Scouser. So he must go on these, like, you know, these podcasts, subscribe and go, and then, you know, criticizing what other people say, if you know what I mean.
Well, to me, we all have a laugh and a joke and we all swear and all like that, but after reading that, I think he's disgusting.
Of course he is. Of course he is. I was listening to a lad today, and I like the show actually, but I don't like this fella. And he's pretending to be an Italian, right? But he's a Bulgarian.
Oh, right.
And he slagged. He actually slagged Fernando Torres. I didn't like him. I didn't like him. He was evil. He had the evil heart.
Torres?
Yeah. Complete arsehole, you know. Complete and utter arsehole.
Yeah.
I only look. It's already finished. So we got us up, and I actually commented on, and I told him, I said, that's disgusting. I said, he doesn't know him like I know him, like I knew him. Fernando Torres, one of the nicest people you could ever wish to meet.
Yeah.
And I said, I've unsubscribed to you now because of that arsehole.
Yeah.
And I did say that, by the way. I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
say that.
Oh, yeah.
So you're getting the people, you know, these make excuses of things. But this fella swears as well, you know, effing and blinded all the time.
Yeah.
So, but you don't need that, you know, to swear.
No, you don't. I mean, when we talk privately, I think we do a fair share, but we know where we are now, and we try and
have to, because it's letting your anger and frustration out.
It is, yeah.
What the F was that? What the F was that all about?
Yeah, but we know where we are.
We can say it live. We can say it live.
Yeah.
This is what we talk about. We talk about football. We ring each other up. We're watching the game or whatever, and discuss it.
And we don't mince our words.
No, we don't. And you know, people, the likes of that top Scouser, you know, that Divvy. You've got him, and he's trying to say something, you know, along the lines of we're talking.
He hasn't been back on.
Yeah, no, of course he's got that. You know, that's what I said. Defines nonsense, but he wouldn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, the likes of that, he doesn't like what we're saying. That's all. So why
he's got an opinion, he can say it.
But he won't, because they have no argument. They have no argument. If you know what I mean.
And they don't know what to talk. And they don't know what to talk about anyway.
No, and this is it. Unless Charlie Kane says, Frank is like a lad from school saying bad words. Our mums used to say that. Stop saying bad words. No. Saying bad words. It's you know, that's scary. Stop saying bad words. Your Francis was saying bad words. I heard him. No, it wasn't. It was only 24 at the time, so. Charlie Cairns actually comes out with a good point here. He says, if you play Trent in midfield in his normal position, you'd have to have someone to help him.
Yeah, that's why Milner's there or Henderson's there.
Yeah, but with Connate there, he's very quick.
Yeah, he is.
And he gets over to Trent.
Yeah.
Or, you know, see, I believe that Big Veg, he likes Connate. He knows he's got strength with him there. He's got strength. Because Matip is a bungle of nerves. He's gone. He's completely gone. He's a bungle of nerves. Gomez is injured anyway. But, you know, how many games has he had? A good game. You know, you get 1 in 4.
Yeah.
You know, the 1 in 4, he's great. But the other 4 games, he's dreadful, you know, that could cause us goals, or could cause goals or whatever. And goals are terrible mistakes by him. They've scored from the opposition.
How long can they keep it out?
About 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
And what injury did they have?
Hamstring.
Not a hamstring. Jesus Christ.
Another one, yeah. Hamstring. But at least, Tom, you know, he's back. We've got Jota back. We'll have by the middle of next month, which is tomorrow, March, Diaz will be back.
Yeah.
But I look at Diaz and his injury, like Jota's, and they've got to work the way back.
Yeah.
They've got to work the way back. So really, you won't see the best of Jota. Especially
but at least he's there. I
to the
mean,
end of
like
the
Luis
season.
Diaz, he's worth half a game.
Yeah, yeah.
He's worth half a game, isn't he? Just take a chance with him. He's worth half a game. He might as well be out the rest of the season for all the good he's doing.
Yeah.
Just give him a chance.
But he's actually running and shooting now, anyway. And they
Don't shoot
reckon
that
that
top scouser.
but he reckons that Klopp does reckons he'll be back for the second leg of the Madrid game. But before that, he needs games. He needs
Does, yeah.
minutes under his belt to get in the full swing of things.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look too good. I mean, it doesn't look too bad from what it has been. It doesn't look too bad if they're all fit going into the phase of the year.
I'm more confident now you said Kanasi's fit.
Yeah.
I'm more confident now about tomorrow if he's fit.
Yeah.
And I'm a Virgil in the middle and the other two normal.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, say. Do you keep him back until Sunday? Or do you play him to get, minutes under his belt? I'm talking about Connaughton.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's only Jurgen Klopp knows if he's fit enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if he thinks he's fit enough, he should play. For me, if he's there on the bench, he should be on the pitch.
Yeah.
It's easy as that.
True enough.
No, he's not going to be a match winner, is he? No, he's not a match winner. So you can't bring him on to be effective. So you might as well start with it to stop it.
But Klopp has done that in the past, hasn't he? He did it on Saturday. Instead of going for the win, he was playing for the draw.
Yeah.
Which shocked me because they were
scared
awful.
of losing, mate. Scared of losing.
So what's it going to be against Man United? If he's scared to lose against them at home.
Yeah, well,
at home.
Well, you think Man United now, you see them, they've won the Carabao Cup, whatever it is. They're going to be coming here. And as much as what I don't like to see them win anything, they're going to be full of confidence when they come into Anfield, mate.
Yeah, of course they are. Of course they are. And don't forget, they beat us soundly, didn't they?
Yeah.
They beat us soundly at Old Trafford.
Yes, yeah.
Charlie Cairns comes out and says, I will play Phillips at centre half if Connaughton doesn't play.
Yeah, good shout, that Phillips.
The thing is, he's never made a mistake for Liverpool, has he?
No,
and
he's like a warrior.
He's brilliant in the air.
Yeah. Good shout. If Connaughton's not fit, I forgot about him, actually.
But the point is, again, there's loads of points in this. Why hasn't he been playing all season when Connaughton's been injured and they've been relying on Matip and Gomez?
There's only one man who can answer that.
Exactly. Because we all talk.
It's a good job Milner's not 6'2". He'd get a game every week, it says that.
Steve Evans says, no swearing this week.
Oh, him. Go get that top scouser, Steve.
Oh, yeah, top scouser. Steve, you're listening. We got called a pair of nonsense by a fella named
Top scouser.
Whether he was joking, I don't know.
You don't joke with that name, mate.
Because we were criticising our wonderful owners, spending all this money and
might be John Henry.
Saying about
might be John Henry is a top scouser.
Oh yeah. Under the soothing
yeah.
You pair of nonsense, yeah.
But I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow, mate. Honestly, I am. I think we'll win.
It's not on the telly, is it? For people.
It'll be one of them. Be on one of them journal channels or one of them. I'll turn the sound down and put Radio Merseyside on. But they scored a goal on the radio 3 minutes before they scored it on the telly.
I remember Schreiber once on you and that to me, he said, "What do you think of that? That was a cracking goal, wasn't it?" He was behind you, was.
Well, yeah, I'm confident we'll win tomorrow, yeah. And if we get a good result tomorrow, that should raise our game. Well, not that we need to raise them when we play that.
No.
But we've got to be on our top game when we play them, mate, because they're playing well.
Steve Evans says, Bellends, whoever that was, then Frank, you know, about the top scouser. What's he having, a Susan of a top scouser?
Yeah, and he put his proper name on.
He's own, you see, because he's a top scouser. He doesn't have to put his name there.
I know a few top scousers, but they wouldn't say nothing like that.
No. The thing is, you see, it's the pseudonym, so that he can keep on.
Yeah.
Because he's a Manx blade, says Steve Evans. But they do, they come on. But
yeah. They do. Undercover.
But I still think that Connate, that was my question before. Do you think they should put him in tomorrow or Sunday? I think they'll put him in tomorrow because
I hope
we have to win this.
I hope you do, mate.
And to shore up the defence. All right, we've had in the league. In the league,
we've got 7 out of 9 points.
3 clean sheets.
Yeah.
3 clean sheets, but I'd rather have no clean sheet and a win, wouldn't you?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
We seem to win 2 matches, then draw or lose the next 2, says Charlie Cairns.
Well, I looked at the Crystal Palace game after the Real Madrid game, and the confidence must have been shot, mustn't it? Know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
They must have been down, it's so hard. So when you look at that results, even though we should have won the game, I mean, how they were feeling when they come out there, I must have thought, Jesus, they'd be terrified to make a mistake, terrified to concede. And then once the game was coming to an end, he just said, right, another clean sheet. Well, we could have won the game.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought Mo was unlucky, He was running everywhere. He was trying to get the ball.
He never stops, mate. You look at him. I know he's been off the ball, but you look at him. He never stops.
No. And you know what?
And he makes things happen.
And you know what was sad? And no one really said anything. They just said, he hit the bar. That was it. That was so unlucky. He took that on the tip. Very
that was
quick.
A goal from the minute. It was a goal from the minute it left his foot.
Exactly. And I was so unlucky. And yet, they still say, and I was watching that some people giving him 4, out of 10.
No. Well, see, I would never pick a team without him in it, put it down.
Steve Evans says, Connate in tomorrow. Henderson will be centre half on Sunday. Isn't that a cracker? It'd be out again, engines. I'm afraid of, who do we put out on Sunday? That's the point.
You see how the team plays tomorrow, and barring all injuries, play the same team if they get a good win.
Well, the thing is, you see,
Well, there's not many we can bring in anyway, is there?
no. The thing is, as well, I won't be having a show this Friday. You know what ordinary show that is.
Yeah.
I'll be having a podcast either Saturday or Sunday, the day of the game, before the game, obviously.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what to do or what time. I could have it like around 12 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah.
Or I could have it around 4 o'clock on Saturday. I just don't know.
What time do we kick off, sir?
Well, if we're playing Sunday, it's 4 o'clock kickoff, isn't it?
Sunday, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so I could have it on at 12 o'clock on a Sunday, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, before the game, yeah, because, I mean, see, it's how we play. If we play like world beaters and beat them, should have it after the game.
Yeah.
But we could play like crabs and get battered, so we don't want another one.
No. True enough. But here's what Steve Evans says. Throw Carrot a pair of boots for Sunday. I was watching.
I'd rather throw Stevie G a pair.
Do you know what? I was watching, the lead up to the 2005 Turkey final, Istanbul final.
Yeah.
And some of the players we had, they were dreadful. Biscan, he played nearly every game, midfield.
Yeah.
Biscan. And in one game, up front was Letalic, Barros. We had some terrible players, and we got through to the final.
Yeah.
Beating the likes of, Inter at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible. Unbelievable.
Remember that goal in Anfield, Louis, what's his name, scored?
Garcia.
Louis Garcia scored. Remember that goal?
Juve.
Yeah, what a goal that was. Yeah.
But so did Sammy. Sammy scored the goal against Juve. Because the ball came over, like a corner, wasn't it? And he just volleys it. Side-footed it in.
Just leathered it, yeah.
And they had brilliant players. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant players. They had
but that's how much we could raise our game then, Frank. I mean, we go back to Istanbul. We were down and out. We had no right to win that game.
No.
That's why I say you would never write us up. Barcelona, we had no right. Mind you, we should have beat Barcelona at Barcelona. Even though we got beat 3-0, we were the better team that night. When you look at the game, we were so unlucky in that game.
Yeah. I just love the way, seeing. Hey, you know what, Tommy? Talking about watching something. I was watching YouTube, and as I was sitting there watching it, just a thing came up, and I went, the way you see the little boxes, and you choose what to watch, whether it's political, whether it's the news, whether it's the and it's had the little square, and it's had Scouts Not English. That's all it has, the little box, and a brilliant aerial view of Liverpool, still picture.
Yeah.
So then it came on, and, because before you turn it on, properly. So it came on and it said, why is Liverpool, why do Liverpool say Scouts Not English? Why do they say this? Right? And the aerial view of it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. So anyway, I said, have a look at this. So we put it on. So I'm sitting there, and the doc fella, the documentary fella, he's giving it out, what he's saying and whatever. and he goes back, and he goes into the town, the middle of the town, and he's talking to a few people. You know, why are Scouts so? Scouts is a great. You know, we welcome everybody. You know, the usual like comments.
Yeah.
What makes a Scouser and all this. So anyway, I'm sitting there like this, and then it said, so, and they show an old picture of, you know, sailing boats and whatever. And it said, Scousers became Scousers because of lobscouse, right? And all it was lobscouse, but it was spelled wrong because it was Lobskause, but it's at the proper Scouts, lobscouse, you see.
Yeah.
And it said, so how did they get this name, lobscouse? So it goes on to this fella, and it's me. Sitting there.
Go away.
I'm sitting there, sitting in here. And I forgot all about it. Because this film director, he got hold of me during lockdown. And he said, yeah. I said, yeah. He said, do you mind if we film? I said, I can't go out. He said, I know that. Can we come to you? We wear masks and everything. I said, I'm not worried about you wearing a mask. It doesn't bother me. So he told me what it was about. I said, yeah, okay. And it's just been...
How long was the show?
It was an hour. I'm on it right through. But
I thought it would have been about 2 hours.
Well, you want to see the, well, it's not me, but you want to see the aerial views of Liverpool and the Mersey, Tommy.
So what's it called?
Stunning it is.
What's it called?
Scouse.
Scouse, not English.
Scouse,
I'll
not
get
English.
that up. I'll have to watch that now.
And I was looking at it, it was brilliant. But I'm talking about, you know, the views.
Yeah,
and like the historical content of the...
Yeah.
And why we're called Scouse and not English, you know, why we, you know.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely. And that's not because of, honestly, it's not because of...
I know that.
Honestly.
But don't forget to watch Irish Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti's first fight. You keep saying you're going to watch it. You haven't watched it.
Yeah, no, I haven't had... Do you know what, Tommy? I haven't had a decent sleep. My sleep pattern's awful. It's all over the place. For example, like the early hours of the morning, I was awake at 4 o'clock. I was trying to go to sleep. So
I was doing my washing at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Was you?
Yeah.
Well, I woke up. I must have gone to sleep because I woke up at 6:10, and I couldn't go back to sleep. Yeah. So I had to stay awake. So I stayed awake.
That's funny age.
Thanks a lot, son.
Hey, I don't sleep all night, mate. I sit in the chair there, and I fall asleep in the chair.
Well, anyway, I'll have to say, Steve Evans says Traore got a winner's medal, yet only remembered for that back heel at Burnley FA Cup in 2006. Do you know what, Steve? You're absolutely right, because I said he should never play for Liverpool again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think anybody said that.
And that was in the FA Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he also says, that fraud, Brenza's, you know, this is Rodgers. That fraud, Brenza's Leicester was knocked out of the cup by Blackburn tonight.
Really? Oh. How did Leeds and Fulham go?
Leeds and Fulham, I don't know. Most probably Mr. Evans will let us know, or you can Google it.
Just about to.
I was talking to Golden right today, and I said, "You come?" I said, "What shift?" He said, "I'm on late." So Fulham 2-0, Manchester City won 3-0.
Oh, that's all right then.
2-0 Fulham, and Man
I'll be able
City won
to,
3-0.
I'll be able to sleep tonight now, thanks.
Do you know, I phoned Ian Golden up. I said, "What time are you on, Ian?" And he said, "I'm on late." He said, I'll try and make it to the game, right?" I said, "That'll be great." He said, "It'll be for the last hour." It made me laugh, but it's he's a carer, right?
He's a good lad, yeah.
Like, but it was the way he said it, and I just went complete. And he said, because I got the salve on, he said, "It's me." He said, "It's amazing to get it in bed overnight." It was the way he said it, and he was all serious, And I said, "All right then." I said, "Good to see you later." He said, "All right, Frank," and put the phone. I just went and got a witness. That was the way it was said. As Steve Evans says, he can't even look after himself. That's what he does. Good night, Frank, Tommy, and all the gang. When you go to bed, make sure bed bugs don't bite, says Charlie Kent.
Good night, Charles.
That's the fella who says, "Stop saying bad words."
Stop saying bad words. We never said bad words.
No, he never says bad words. But anyway, Tom, thanks for your contribution tonight. It's been great.
Always a pleasure, mate. Always a pleasure.
Hopefully, I'll see you Thursday.
You certainly will. But don't forget, we'll swear on the phone and be nice on here.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
That's what we do.
But anyway, thanks again, Tommy. Thanks to all
no problem, mate.
Thanks to everyone out there who was commenting and whatever, whatever your views, whether you agreed, whether you disagreed, that's fine.
Good night, God bless everyone. Good night, God bless.
Yeah, look at this. Ed Barcelona won Keita. Are we putting in to give him the cab fare for the airport? Shall we shove up?
Barcelona are coming in for Keita. He's taking the all right now. That can't be happening.
Absolutely. Anyway, Tom, once again, thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. And I'll see you all again on Thursday. Don't forget.
Good night, God bless.
I've got a podcast on Thursday, people. Not only that, but I'll have a podcast again on either Saturday morning or Sunday morning, to talk about tomorrow night's game and to talk about the game on the day against Man U. I'll see you fellas, says Steve Evans. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for joining us in the last hour. And as I said, if anyone wants to come on, that's no problem. That's no problem. And I hope to have a couple more inviting guests on. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Okay? Thank you.